Didn't even have time to make tea. It's been a
Mm,
busy day.
it has been a good day
Very
today.
good. Good week. Good
Yes,
week. Good day.
our client from yesterday closed, but fully funded when they were supposed to. So their sellers were able to close today. So we made it, we did it, and then today I received the clear to close. Things are moving, things are shaking.
It's busy. I believe what they say. The rumors are that we're going to have a great fall, like a busy fall and a lot of action. I think that we're going to see that busier than
Ye-
normal because everything's picking up. It like it didn't really stall. I mean, I had a very busy summer, but it had a slow start to the year because of all the stuff, and now it feels like people are finally settling in and realizing like this really is a great time to buy. So, yeah. People want to hurry up in Michigan anyways. They want to hurry up and take advantage of the last couple of months of decent weather that we have. And of course, not have to be moving in the holidays. Okay, so we just lost Cece. Can you hear me, Cece? I can't see you. Okay. Well, maybe we will get her back. Um, the funny thing is that she's joining from her car today because we have had such a crazy day. Um, and she's actually stuck at her dog groomers, which is hilarious. She worked it out with them to bring the dog out to the car when she was done. But while we're waiting for her to figure out her life, um, oh, I think I hear her maybe. I just don't see her. Um,
Okay, I'm back.
okay, we can't see
Can you
you.
see me?
Nope, but at least we can hear you.
No,
Nope,
no, no, no,
can't see you at
really?
all.
Okay.
It's totally dark actually. You're not even frozen. It's just not, you're not even there.
Are you serious?
You'll just
Okay.
be like you'll just be like that special guest. What was that game show where somebody was
No.
hiding behind the curtain and nobody knew who they were and they would talk and you had to figure stuff out? That's who you are today. I've never even
Oh,
seen
that
that
is
happen. But
so
yeah.
odd. Is there
Yep.
a way that I could, like, rejoin or no?
Not sure.
Shoot.
Probably. I'm
I
assuming you
can't see
could.
why not. If you're still live,
Yeah,
right, try it?
sure. Why not?
'Kay.
This is not a very high level operation that we have. And let's see. We are going to send there she is. Okay, let's see if that worked. There she is. You're back. Okay,
Okay,
good.
perfect.
So, without further ado, I already told them that you were at your dog groomers and got stuck there and so dedicated to the cause that
Life.
you're coming within your car.
Yes, it's life, and if I can say anything positive about being in our industry, is the flexibility that I actually can keep moving in my life and talking about the job I love, like being on here with you. Thank you for having me on.
Of
Yes,
course.
they are gonna bring the dog out. A white golden retriever will pop up. I have a few treats for her, so I'm already prepared as a dog
It's like
mom.
having kids, you got to keep them happy, right?
Yeah, so any dog parents out there loving, if you need a home, let us know because we will help that fur baby where mine's going to be coming out soon, give them that backyard that they've always needed and wanted. So, but
Yes, lots
again,
of
today's a
space.
great day, sunny day. Let's talk real estate.
Absolutely. So I was thinking, just because there's
Yes.
so much going on
So much.
with real estate, with the world, with the politics, with the election, with the things. And it's like things will pop out. Like somebody will say something online. They'll make this blanket statement or they'll just throw something out there and they kind of like leave us hanging with like how we're going to handle it because it's like they kind of just put something out there and it has nothing substantial behind it and everybody starts calling us thinking that hey I want to know more about this. It happens on a lot.
It
And the
it's the marketing. People wanna put out
yeah,
the marketing. "Hey, here's free money," or a candidate or
yes,
a TV show or something like, "Hey, come get free money," and it's a marketing ploy to get the phone to ring. I
yeah,
get it. I understand why they do what they do, but there's so much to it than just that.
like clickbait. Like they say things and it's like clickbait and then, we're left to handle it. Like the biggest one lately is, in the news that, oh my gosh, they're going to be giving away all this money for first time home buyers. And although we have programs for first time
We
home
do.
buyers, they make it sound like they're just cashing everybody out. Like, here you go. Here's
Oh,
$25,000.
we're doing you a favor.
Hmm.
And I don't like that ploy. When it
No, because when
comes
you tell them the truth, then they think that something's wrong with you. Like, oh, well, I'll just call someone else and see if they could just hand me free money. It's like, there are some guidelines to this. It's not.
there there is, but
I
I
wish
do
it was
like to
that
say,
easy. I
"You
wish I
get
could just hand
money, you
everybody
get
free money.
money."
We would be doing like hundreds of deals a year, like without a problem, if we were just handing out money.
Yeah,
But I mean, so I thought it would be a good idea if you could, as the lender, really go through what these down payment assistance programs are. Yes, they are created to help buyers out with affordability and give them some help with
mhm.
that cash to close, but it's just not free money that just kind of shows up on your doorstep. You actually have to, there's certain requirements there.
Th there are. So you have some that are income based, that you can only make up to a certain amount as a household or an
Hmm.
individual. So it
Hmm.
depends on that down payment assistance where you have to pay it back. Now there's been a few that's out there right now that is actually forgivable, which is fantastic. You have to income qualify. There's a there's a down payment assistant program for the city of Detroit. There's a pioneer program up in Port Huron, which everybody's saying it's there, it's there. Let me tell you, and Holly, I'm a digger. I'm gonna find out information and I'm gonna dig. Some of these programs, like that Pioneer, over in a city near us, where that's great that they want to give it. No one returns phone calls. The application takes forever. I have a
Oh,
client now
geez.
that I just got the clear to close who was supposed to
Yay.
do that Pioneer program and they gave up because there was nothing. He income qualified. It's in the city. Everything was perfect. They just didn't want to return the phone call. They
That
made
when you're
it
dealing with the
so
city, that's frustrating
diff
because there a lot of them are like that.
they made it so difficult to get that. I love the concept. I have quite a few clients that could utilize something like this, but the just like what you said, the qualifications and everything you need, just to even get a hold of someone for that program was a bit challenging. There's others that are easier, income-based, location-based. We did have a down payment assistance program, which was beautiful, no income and no location. We only had it for 1 month or a month and a half. That's when you and Ken did a live on a Monday on
The
Facebook.
UWM program, that was
Yes.
only a month and a half that was
Yep.
short-lived.
That was
Oh,
it.
wow.
Very short. In,
Okay.
out. So when we start talking, okay, we have a month before they pull it. Something that good and that sweet, no income, no specific area to stimulate. Because I understand that at one point, what was it, a year ago, year and a half ago, they were doing certain zip codes. Do you
Yes, I remember
remember?
the zip code chart, which zip code you
Yes.
could get it in. Yes,
And
because they were
they
trying
were
to help the affordability in
stimulate
certain areas.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
trying to stimulate the area because it's high rentals. So it was perfect. So when you start hearing free money, it's more got to be careful. You have to talk to a professional. Talk to you, talk to me. The end result should be me because here's the thing. Let's say that that's not forgivable. And now you owe $7,500. How are you going to sell your house in a year, 2 years, 3 years? That may be just all the equity and you won't be able to sell your home. You're going negative equity. Is that the right goal? It may be the right goal. It may not be the right goal. But talking to a professional about where you want to be, what you want to do, if you're only going to be there for 3 years, taking a $7,500
Second loan,
assistant.
basically. Yeah.
Oh, it's second lien on the home.
Yeah.
It's not a second home, it's a second lien. It's a
Yeah.
silent lien is what we
Right.
call it on the home. When you go to refinance or go to sell, you have to pay back that lien. It's
You gotta
secondary.
live 5 years before that's wiped, right? Is it 5?
Actually, there is no some have a time and some don't. It depends.
Okay.
Again, and it's more than I feel like it's more than 5.
I know that there was like after certain periods of time, it starts to like what you owe
Dissipate.
of that
Yeah,
down
sorry.
payment assistance is lessened.
Sorry. That I believe is a mixture program, which I do not
Right.
have.
Right.
That I
No,
can't
just
speak.
talking about different things that people
Yes.
have heard of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just be careful. Again, going back into negative equity, I am not a fan of. So if you by chance have funds, I say invest in yourself. So you again, it comes down to the goals. Holly, our clients love to talk to us. That's why they're here. Have them talk to us and really break down. Do I only want to stay for a little bit? Is this my forever home? This is where I'm gonna have the grandbaby stay. Whoever it needs to be, because it's not age based.
Right.
It's first time home buyers. I- You're a first time home buyer after 3 years after being off of title or right after divorce. So being a first time home buyer doesn't mean that you're 19 years old.
Hmm.
I have a client that I think was like 58, first time home buyer. She
Yeah.
sold her house 4 years ago. Guess what? She gets those perks back.
Yeah, because if you've been renting and you haven't, like you said, haven't been on any title for any home, even if it's
Hmm.
not your home, people forget. Like if somebody puts you on title of their home, you're not a first time home buyer. So be careful with
Correct.
that. Sometimes
Good
people have
point.
those, yeah, they get put on a title or, for whatever reason whatever it's going on. And so you're considered a homeowner. But yeah, if you haven't been on title for 3 years, doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter anything, you get to be a first time home buyer. And a lot of those programs, that's what they're for, is to help the affordability first time home buyers who are either brand new first time home buyers, literally first home, or they're getting back into the market. Like maybe something happened, and they had to rent for a while or move to in with
Take a
someone
step
or after
back.
a divorce, after something
Deployment.
big. Yeah,
Deployment.
right.
That
And so
that
they're getting back on
happens.
their feet and
Mhm.
they're getting back out into and so it's really to help people do that. So that's the stipulation. But like you said, income based. So you can't make over a certain amount of money, which for me, when I saw that, I'm like, if you have a dual income home, it's kind of hard not to make more than that
So hold
just to
on.
pay your bills.
Yes. So here's the thing. So there's a formula. Mishta is family based. So whomever's in the house over the age of 18, that's okay. Who's over the age of 18, that income goes towards that. That's Mishta. Now,
Right.
some of the down payment assistant programs I have is actually that one individual.
Okay.
And
So
so
that's
it's
much better. Much
yes,
better. Yeah,
much
because if
better.
not,
So
it's unfair because they do take your kids that are over 18, like you said, whatever money they're making, you have to put that in as if your kid is going to help you pay your house payment. I mean,
Exactly. So
that's
what
just
if you
crazy.
have a child who is on Social Security disability
Hmm.
and you need to take care of your baby when they get older? And that happens. My mom's really good friend, her son lived with her until he was like 30 because he needed that assistance. He was on
Right.
Social Security disability. And if she went to go move to a new home, his income would be her income now, which I find unfair because is he contributing towards
Yeah.
a house? He's on disability for a reason.
Right. It's just to
Now,
take care of him. Yeah.
exactly. So having again, going back to talking to a professional, which program would fit best for you? Would Misha be it where it's a household income, or would this be better, but you get less? And it's only up to 3%. They say up to 7,500, but
Right.
some programs are only up to 3% of the home value.
Hmm.
Well, that's nice, but someone who can only afford who has an income of 79,000, which is one of the limits depending on the area medium income, which is
Hmm.
typically about 79,000. It can dip down to 72. I've seen it go up to 83, but we're hovering around 79 to 80%.
We can't hear you anymore. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, and now she's frozen like that. She's gonna hate that. She's gonna hate that she's frozen like that. Can you hear me?
Oh!
Okay, there
No,
we
am I
go.
back?
Yes, now
Am
you're
I
back.
back?
You
There's
were
no
frozen in
way.
the funniest position. That was
I saw it.
I go,
I
she's gonna
saw
hate
it.
that.
I saw it. Don't do it. That's gonna be the
Probably going
thumbnail
live from the
too.
cars. This is the first and only time we'll probably do it. Hey, we
You
tried
know
it.
that's gonna be the YouTube thumbnail, right?
Right. Oh,
That's
no,
gonna
don't worry, I get to pick that. I get to pick that. No, that's only
great.
Facebook Live. They pick the worst whenever I end those or start those, I always try and smile real
Yeah.
good and end really good because but they will search through it and I feel like they're committed to finding the weirdest looking picture where I will freeze and look like yeah, they're
Yes.
just committed to doing that.
Yes.
That's just Zuckerberg. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so just get I'll round out because we can move on the next topic of funness, but just invest in yourself. Talk to us. We know um you can DM Holly. Holly can get you in touch with me. Easy peasy.
Yeah, or they
And
can just
oh
follow you. They can follow your channel.
yes, yes, let's talk mortgages with Cece. Absolutely. Um but we can always, whoever's watching, nationwide refer you out if it's a state we don't cover.
Yep.
If our license doesn't cover a certain state, we know so many amazing professionals. We will point you in the right direction. Just
Oh,
always
absolutely.
DM
I love
us.
doing that.
Yeah,
I love doing that.
reach out
It's
to
fun.
us, ask us questions, send type in the comment right now if you have any questions. I think that is important, especially when you start hearing this marketing, free money for homes, down payment assistance, what
When I
this
heard that,
means.
I woke up this morning. I opened when I opened well, it wasn't right when I woke up, but when I opened Instagram today, the first thing I heard was so and so, who I don't want to mention names, talking about all this money that was going to be given $25,000 to homeowners. I'm like, if you really were doing that, that would probably
Why
be
didn't you do
fantastic.
this already?
Why didn't we already do it when we had such a high rate? Why are we waiting till now? But we already know the answer to that question. But yeah, I just thought as soon as I heard
Marketing,
that, I was like, we're gonna need to combat that with some actual facts because it's not gonna be just
printing money
the
of
government's not gonna make it rain for you. I wish. I
no.
mean, someday they're trying to push us into that kind of a system, but that's not what's gonna be. And if they do, it's gonna have a cap on it, right? And it's probably going to be limited by your area. Like that 25,000 is probably the height. That's probably going to be like maybe for higher price, like California. I don't know, but I'm just looking at some of our price
Let's
points.
just see.
Yeah, I just let's see what they roll out, but it's not even going to happen. If it happens, that means something that happened that I didn't want to happen. I'll be really cryptic with what I say, but yeah, I just again, that's just it's just something that is being spouted to get attention and to basically look
Clickbait.
clickbait is yeah, it's exactly clickbait. And that's what's frustrating about us being in real estate is we have to take all the misinformation that's out there, like everything that just happened with the NAR settlement and everyone trying to say like that my brokerage EXP isn't paying buyer agents, which is ridiculous. And everyone's just throwing all this crazy stuff out there. And the truth is like the actual truth is so sometimes simpler than what's being spun in the media, but it's like it doesn't sound like a fun story when you just tell the truth and say, "Listen, this is what's actually going on." It's not this big, "Oh my gosh," crazy scenario and real estate is just changing forever but that's what sells, right? That's what gets attention. And that's what social media is. Selling and getting attention. I think we like to do our part in providing information and maybe some fun too and being here for people, but it seems like a lot of it is just they just want to they want to sensationalize things and pull in views, attention, likes, follows.
Yeah.
So then we're stuck with trying to sift through all the crap.
Oh, and I feel as if when someone gets baited into the conversation of free money to put it down on a house and they don't qualify, that
Right.
they actually authentically feel let down. Like,
Hmm.
well, that's not fair because
Right.
I've worked and it sucks because with having a whole home only you have to make 78,000, 79,000, 82. whatever the income limit is for that specific program, that that pigeonholed somebody and their thought
Mhm.
process. Like, okay, so
Right.
I gotta stay in this bracket, but then to afford a home, you gotta be in this bracket, and now
Right.
there's this, like, gray area of the unknown, and that's uncomfortable. Like, okay, well, I've worked hard. I know someone who has worked really hard on their credit for the last year. They got 2 raises. We're not there yet, and they feel so let down because of a situation that happened with their credit. I'm like, "Look, give it 2 more months, I think you're there." And they're just so sad, even though it's
Yeah.
still close, they thought they were there. I'm like, "You're so close, you're there." So, getting that misinformation, kind of getting excited about it, dreaming about it, going to realtor.com, reaching out to you, saying, "Hey, I'm ready." And then that letdown feeling, nobody wants that. We want
No.
rainbows, we want sunshine, we wanna make the experience better for most. And so just always ask us these questions. It's easy.
Yeah. I have like a story I want to tell. It's not really
Okay.
it kind of goes along with this, but it's
Is it
actually
good?
just
Is it juicy?
it's kind well, it's just me
Who's
venting a
cheating
little bit.
on who?
No. I don't, it's not
Oh.
that juicy. No, it's just me venting for a minute, if that's okay. If that's all right. Can I vent a little bit?
Is
Speaking,
anybody
you said
cheating on their
realtor.com.
spouse?
You said realtor.com. So that's
Yes.
what
Triggered
reminded
you?
me. Yeah, so I have a few listings right now, and I got a phone call. I was driving, didn't recognize the number, but I just thought, you know what? It looked local. I'm going to answer it. It's probably not a spam call, so I answered it. It's a gentleman who didn't even, you know, I don't know where we've gone in where we're at in society where we just don't even, hi, I'm so and so, introduction, why you're calling, just boom, right into it without any of that, just blatantly. So, you're listing on, and it gave me the street name. Is it on a well and septic? I'm like, actually, it's on a septic, but it's on city water. It doesn't have a well. Flew off the handle at me. Oh my gosh, you just wasted so much of my time, blah, blah, going on and on. Why didn't you just put that in here? And I'm like, sir, I'm sorry. It is in there. I have to put it in there in the MLS. I can't even list it without putting it in there. What are you actually looking at? Well, I'm on realtor.com. I'm like, okay, so I'm not in charge of realtor.com. Any of those online sites, we have no connection or affiliation to them. And I can't help what they do and what they don't do. And that's why, you might want to actually talk to a real estate agent. And he's like, oh, okay, bye. Hangs up on me. I'm like, not even an apology. Just this guy just tore into me for nothing, right? I'm answering the phone, trying to be professional, give him information about the listing. So, knowing me, you know me, I get to where I'm going. I was going to an inspection actually. I had some time. I go on realtor.com. I find my listing. I'm scrolling. So you have to click to open up that's how their system works. Click more information, more information. I find utilities, more information. There it is. City water, septic system. I screenshotted it. I took the link. I found, I had his number. And I
Yes.
said, just so you know, next time you're on realtor.com, they actually do have the information as long as the agents listed it in there, which they should. Under utilities, you just have to open up each of these little blah, blah, blahs. And I had the screenshot, everything. And because I'm like, no, I am going to make sure you know that you really, really should not act like that as a human being. Like, I just, of course, didn't hear anything back, but I was like, what a jerk. Like, what a total jerk talking to me like that. I'm like, where do you get off thinking you can do that?
I'm just saying that it's a waste of time. So he was online and that was his time, which you had
And how
no
much time do you
idea.
think he spent? Because he didn't even look. So, this is
He
how
didn't
people are.
expand. So he didn't
So, people
expand
have no attention
anything,
span. Huh?
but he didn't expand any of the
No, he
elements.
just probably went like this, scrolled through it, and called me right away. So,
Oh,
I don't know how much time he spent, not much. I even looked the guy up. I went in and looked him up. Says he's like 70 some years old. I'm like, okay. So usually they don't even know, right? Like how to use the internet as well. I mean, I don't know the people in my life, like my dad. My dad's pretty decent at it, but the older population, they're not the best at it. So it was like, he probably should have realized, like, okay, maybe there's something I didn't know, and you would have thought, but no. So that's another thing to me, like, another misconception is that whatever's on Zillow, Zillow's another one. Zillow costs people getting showings because Zillow will take your finished square footage. And if you have a finished basement square footage and you put it into the listing that it's finished, they add it together.
They
So
add it together.
if you have a
Why
3,000
do
square foot
they do
house,
that?
yeah, if you have a 3,000 square foot house and let's say out of the basement square footage, 1,500 is finished, Zillow will say it's 4,500 square feet. So there's a lot of people who go, oh, I don't need 4,500 square feet. And they won't even want to look at it if they're not actually going on the MLS with an agent to see actual stats. And I've had people reach out to me and say, I've reached out to my buyers and said, "Hey, this house is perfect." And a couple times they're like, "Oh, but I saw that on Zillow and it's way too big. We don't need that much." I'm like, "No, no, no. Please, I have you set up for a reason on the MLS search. Please stay off of Zillow because that's misinformation. We're not allowed to quote that as a square footage as livable space unless it's like over 75% above ground. And these basements aren't. It's very rare that you get one that qualifies. So there, and again, misinformation because that's
Mhm.
how Zillow has decided to put it out there. But we have no control over that. Right.
No, no,
So
no,
it's
and
it's
I wouldn't want, even though technically the house we just sold was 5,000 completely done, well, maybe 5,100,
yep.
maybe more close to
It was a full
5,100.
walkout. Full
It was a
walkout.
full it's a full walkout, but I would not, so that was a basement, but I wouldn't wanna have cleaned, like, if I woulda saw that, I never
Right.
woulda bought that house.
No,
Now the
even like
upstairs only 2,500 and some change square foot, that's manageable. I don't mind cleaning that, but
right.
a 5,000, even if I could afford it, which, yes, but would I wanna clean all those rooms that weren't being utilized? For me, that's not my goal in life. My
Not at
goal
this
is to
stage in
live in
life.
it and keep going. Like, I don't wanna clean, but I don't wanna pay anybody to
My goal in life is to be able to
clean.
pay someone else to clean and to be able to
I
employ
know.
somebody else and contribute to the economy in that way, like leverage. Like that is my goal to be able to
Yeah.
have a downsize my life to a place where I can enjoy my life, where I'm not
Mhm.
cleaning and doing things I don't want to do that I've done all these years, but I can easily leverage out to someone else. That to me is living my best life. It's not the bigger the better. It's me
Traveling
not having to
and
do stuff I don't want to do anymore.
yes.
That's
Yes.
where I feel like that's where success is for me when I can leverage
So
all
the
that stuff.
yeah, and so when you have that misinformation on that website, now you're gauging your goals and your expectations on misinformation.
And yelling at a realtor who does not own realtor.com and I'm sorry you don't know how to use their site and this is, I'm only responsible for the information on the MLS because that's where we put it. I can't help you with what everyone else does with it.
Yeah.
And if they're wrong, that is on them. And if you don't know how to work their system, I am so sorry. But calling to yell at somebody else because it wasted your time, I'm like, actually, the truth is, you just wasted my time. Okay, I took your call. It was very nice to you. That would be a waste of my time. And you just yelled at me, and I was already
That's
having like
not
a
you.
stressful
You
moment.
love helping people, so
I
I
do
know,
love helping people, but
but
not
I'm
when they
glad
yell
that
at
you
me and
helped
act like that.
educate, though. I know, 100%, but it's
I
good
don't
that
want to
you
work with that
educated
person.
him where now he can see where it's at, so moving forward, he'll be able to be more successful with somebody else.
Yeah, with somebody else because a person that's going to act like that to a complete stranger and just start yelling at them is definitely not the person that I would choose to work with for sure. Like, and that's nice that we get to choose. It's very rare that I would say I don't want to work with someone. In fact, I can't even remember ever doing it. But someone like that who thinks they're just going to yell at me
I
for no
came
reason,
close. Yeah, I came close to
mm-mm,
firing a
find somebody
client.
else.
Yep. No, I came close to firing a client, and he was committing financial fraud on his wife, and it was
Oh
super
yeah, you
hard
got
to
to
watch.
distance. You got to
It
distance
that
yourself from that.
that was super hard to watch. We
Mm.
still continued the transaction, but we had to have a very specific person, Ken, handle this transaction because he didn't want to talk to a female, which was hard because we're an all-female team. So
Oh
we had
boy.
to, thank goodness for Ken, right? He man
Yes.
talked. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It's good to have
Yeah.
him on the on that team. So we got through, but that was the only one that I almost called it. Like, no, I cannot do this. But he would have gone
Yep.
somewhere else, and the wife would be in the same situation. So at that point, it's not teaching him a lesson. He never would have gotten it.
He's not going to learn. He's not going to listen. It's what we do with our whole heart, and we give
We
all of our
do.
time. And what I've learned at this age, and I've heard being said by pretty much everyone, like the Tony Robbins and all of the inspirational, the number one commodity we have is our time. And to learn how to not trade dollars for time, and to learn how to leverage and create, the whole wealth building and all the strategies that, financial people will be teaching, because you can't get time back. Like when you're younger, you don't think about your time as much. You do, but you don't. You just feel like you have
Yeah.
unlimited time. Now it's like you get to decide, is this how I'm going to spend? Is it worth the trade off, which I know what I will make when this is done or whatever, to have my time spent this way?
Hmm.
And it just becomes wise to, because it affects your stress level, your overall happy level, and
Sure.
there's definite value to that. You could find two other people who are amazing in the time that you're working with somebody who just clearly, you know just wants to make a problem, because they're out there.
Yes.
People like that are out there. I'm glad I don't get settled with that. But it happens. This person was just a random call that just needed to scream at me about realtor.com. I wish I did own it. I
Well,
wish it was my fault that you don't know how to use it. I would love to
we
have a
would be
piece of
on a
that.
boat. We would be on a boat right
We wouldn't be
now
answering phone calls. Are you kidding
with
me?
be in a whole different situation than me sitting outside the groomers in a vehicle and you at
Which, by
home.
the way, we're
Yes.
going on what, 2.5 hours that they've had your dog. What in the world are they doing to that poor thing?
I well with her being coat, when she gets wet, the skin doesn't dry. The other layers of the hair will, but
Oh, they're
the
drying
first
her. That
layer
makes sense.
stays
Okay.
wet.
Okay.
So we're dealing with that, and with her being up north, getting into bodies of water. We take her to Stony Creek. She goes into the river, and she doesn't fully dry. So to dry this dog and to fix the stuff that I didn't know was happening, like a couple more hot spots that I didn't know, they actually like they cleaned her up nice and pretty. So they're like, "We're
Okay.
sorry, we just want to do this right. You said she's no longer gonna be in water. So let's just do it right since this whole summer she's
Yeah.
been like she was ratty, and now she's gonna be beautiful and short haired, and she's gonna be so happy when she comes out because I can give her. I have some. I have some goodies in a bag. Look at this flamingo bag. Okay, so let's talk about like my
Wait, that looks familiar.
I know, but today I'm embracing her. Yesterday, I think I told you that because I moved, all my purses are
Oh, that's right. Everything's still
packed.
in. You're still living out of boxes.
I'm still living out of boxes, and all my
Oh,
purses are
yeah.
packed in a box that's on the bottom of a whole stack. And it
Right.
says purses, but it's stacked up, and I'm just like mourning my purses. But this, I feel today, this, I would have pulled her out today. I didn't
It's your
want her
vibe.
yesterday or a week ago, but today I am totally embracing the whole, maybe because summer's coming to an end.
I know. And people need to stop
And
talking about stupid fall stuff when
if
it's
I
not
hear
time yet.
anything about a spiced latte, I am going to
I
kill
Does
someone.
anyone actually like that? What
I
is it
do.
called? Spice,
The
pumpkin
pumpkin spice
spice?
latte,
Oh, I think
I
it
do.
tastes terrible. I think it tastes
Oh, I love
awful.
it.
No, I think
I
it's
love it.
absolutely
Now,
terrible.
that's funny you say that. Hold on. It's funny you say that. We should
And
put
I'm
a
a
poll
coffee
out.
girl. I know coffee, and I think
Yeah,
that's just terrible.
we should put a poll out because there's no, ooh, I got a piece of hair. There is no in between. No in between. You like it or you don't like it. It's that type of a
Yeah,
drink.
I would
There's
just throw it
nothing in
out.
between. See, and
I
I
even
like
got
it.
it in the what's it called? The I'm blank on the
Cold
coffee
brew,
machine I have. It's not a
like
Keurig. I have the Nespresso. I even
that's
tried
it.
it on the
Yeah,
Nespresso because I thought,
yeah.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's just Starbucks that I don't like. Still
Now
hated it. I
now,
hated it. I was
you
giving it
like
away.
it or you don't
Don't
like
like
it?
it. And I really
I
don't like
actually
it being
like
talked
it.
about in August. It's still summer.
I know, that's why pulling
Still
her
summer.
out, like, even though I've been, like, saying, "Oh, I don't want her as a purse." I today just woke up, I'm like, "I need to think warm weather. I need to think Florida." After we froze ourselves yesterday after our
It's cold today
closing,
too. I know.
it's 70 degrees, but I need one more week of something like this in my life.
It's coming. I
Just
Friday is
saying.
gonna start the warm up, and I think this
I
is just a
hope
weird, chilly
so.
week. I know, because I can't. All right, my friend. Well, this has been perfect timing, and I'm glad that you were able to accommodate from your car. And now
I
when your
love
dog's ready,
technology.
yeah,
And I'll
she'll
get
be able to
cute
just
balloons
pop in.
for her.
Aw, she'll be able
Yes.
to come in and you'll be able to check her out and send a picture. How pretty she looks.
I'm gonna be so happy for her. She needs
You'll
this.
do like a photo shoot on Facebook.
Click, 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 click. Well, hey, thank you again for having me on your channel. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Educating. Next time let's do like a juicy topic. I feel like
Absolutely.
we need something juicy, like who cheated on whom, who got this in the divorce. Well, I don't know. Like I want to do something
Oh, we
super
could talk about
juicy
a
and
lot with
funny.
divorce. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yes,
There's so
yes,
many things
and
right now. I wish I could say that I can't about stuff that I know that I can't. But yeah, we could definitely do that.
we can talk about the thing of that thing of the other thing
Of
that
that thing
actually
that
is
we can't
relevant,
yeah.
but we can't really say it, but we can say it if we can like
Change the names
rhyme
and
words. Yeah. Oh,
locations and time frames.
what did they say in Law and Order? Names have been changed. These are real,
Oh
or
yeah, to yes, to protect the guilty or protect the innocent. I don't remember what they
yeah,
said. Probably to protect
something
the
protect.
guilty.
Yeah, we're gonna need one of those. Like, I just feel like we do
Disclaimer.
some.
We need a
Yeah,
fancy
something
disclaimer on
juicy.
YouTube.
Who's cheating on who didn't get on title, who took the
Ooh, that would
money,
be.
and who got on title and who wasn't smart enough to be on title. I have
Or
that
who didn't
story.
change the title or change their beneficiary after they got remarried. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
always a fun
All
one.
right, my friend. I love you. Thank you for
Love you
having me
too.
on.
Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you back here
Yes.
next week.
Cheers
Cheers, my
to our
friend.
waters. Okay. Bye.
Bye.